95% of all new business comes from referrals and word of mouth. But it is the most neglected and under-attended area of most businesses. Tons of time, money, and meetings are spent on lead generation, traffic conversion, Facebook and Google advertising, search engine optimization, direct mail, and other forms of advertising. Yet it is proven that consumers rely on word of mouth up to 10 times more than paid media, and it delivers 3 times the result. Yet it gets less than 10% of the resources, effort, and creative attention by organizations and their leaders. Y'all seeing the problem here? And heads up, word of mouth is particularly critical in these days where people have learned to tune out most marketing and advertising. Yell and sell no longer works. Learning how to set up internal referral systems throughout your business processes that predictably and automatically garner enthusiastic, repeated, and consistent referrals, that is a game changer for your business. Set up right, and you can beat almost anybody in any market. It is such a defining factor that in my Business Masterclass training, we spend the majority of day 2 on this topic alone. I outline a 10-point plan on how to set up automated referral systems in any business, leveraging the best practices of human influence and modern-day tools and systems. And yes, word of mouth has definitely been the key growth to the development of the businesses that I have built personally. Of course, we don't have time and a whole day here to take you through it, but I will give you 2 of the most significant foundational aspects of igniting referrals and word of mouth. I'll give you an example. My wife and I went to a restaurant in Miami Beach that we heard was all the rage, designed by a famous interior designer, celebrity chef, and promoted by the biggest tastemaker in town. As we walked into the host stand, we were greeted by name, a big bright smile. We didn't even have to break our stride as they already had the menus assembled, and we were whisked to the special table that they had reserved just for us. Mind you, I'd only booked the reservation on open table. No special arrangements had been made. The waiter, in a clean, bright, and freshly pressed, dapper uniform, also greeted us within seconds of our arrival. He seemed genuinely delighted to see us. The place was spectacular. A rounded gold leaf ceiling encompassed the whole restaurant. The booths looked like furniture pieces made by Hermes. The bar was spectacular with backlit onyx. And in the middle of the restaurant, perched on a golden pedestal, was a full-sized golden unicorn. No joke. We found out later that the owner paid $2 million to have it made. The lighting, the music, all of it was just right. And the food, oh man, the food was hype-worthy as we had heard about. It was one of the best dining experiences I can remember, and we've had a bunch. We were so enthused that when some really good friends of ours came to town about 5 or 6 months later, we wanted them to experience what we had. So we took them there and we were excited. But this time, when we walked up to the hostess stand, 2 members of the staff, what looked like the manager and the hostess, were talking with each other. I probably stood in front of them, just standing there, for a full 5 seconds, before the woman turned to me with a slightly annoyed look on her face and asked, "Can I help you?" After fumbling around trying to find my reservation, she packed up the menus as if this were some big inconvenience. The man next to her never even looked up or acknowledged our presence. Once at the table, it took a long while for the waiter to present himself. And when he did, he looked like he had just woken up and put on yesterday's 12-hour shift outfit. And I could see salad dressing still on his pants from last night. No welcome greeting, no backstory on the restaurant, the celebrity chef and his unique cuisine, or details about why there was a $2 million unicorn in the middle of the restaurant. All the things that we found delightful and engaging our first visit. It took forever to get our first drink order, which I hate, and it's awkward when you're sitting there with your friends. The food came out slow, some of our dishes cold, and all of them unremarkable at best. We kept having to somewhat apologize to our friends by trying to explain to them what the experience was like before. We never went back, and neither did most people because they were out of business in less than 6 months. Now, for the key lessons here. Why did they fail? I mean, come on. They had a gold leaf ceiling, a unicorn, a celebrity chef, and even doubled down on their expensive marketing and advertising, but they still went out of business. Why? Here's why. They failed to deliver on baseline expectations. When you go to a restaurant, what are your baseline expectations? No matter what restaurant you go to and how expensive it is. It is warm and welcoming reception, expeditious seating, prompt attendance by the waiter, your drinks fast, your food hot, bathrooms clean, the basics, the fundamentals. But more often than not, businesses are chasing the shiny ceiling and the unicorn and forget to deliver on baseline expectations. And that is what kills them. Their word of mouth and ultimately their business. To ignite your positive word of mouth, you first have to nail the baseline expectations. I would say that this is the number one reason why 80% of businesses go out of business. So consider yourself warned. Then, once you nail and systemize and give constant attention and focus on delivering the baseline expectations, now you have to over-deliver. To have others remark about you, you have to be remarkable. And that is where we spend the rest of the day in our High Performance Forum, drilling into the methods and systems for doing just that, because the ROI is tremendous. Just keep this last line in your head. It's something Seth Godin said. Marketing is actually what other people are saying about you. And there are always ways that you can influence that. But as a baseline, you gotta deliver first.